Congratulations, this is Dan Locke. While you're downloading my book, FU Money, and also listening to my audiobook, let's start your training right now. There's so many people online promising you they can do this and they can do that and they could help you. How do you know who to trust? I thought, why don't we just have a conversation? And let me show you how you can make $5,000, $10,000, and $25,000 a month. Come along for the ride. I don't know you and I don't know your story. And I don't know why you're here and what you're looking for, why you're downloading my book, FU Money. But what I do know is this, that you're looking for more. Whatever that more might mean. It might mean maybe it's more money, maybe it's more freedom, maybe it's more fulfillment, it's more success. Whatever that something is, I do not know. Maybe you are working in a dead-end job and you hate that fucking job. And you say, how do I get out of this? Is this what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life? Making that measly little bit of money, that fucking minimum wage. There has to be more. Or maybe you are a professional. You're working in the corporate world and you knowing that that's an illusion. Whatever job security that you think that you have, well, that's not job security. You know that deep down. And you've been doing this for a long fucking time. And you're just bored. And that fire that you once had, you've lost it. You don't know where did it go? Where's that fire that I once had when I was younger? And now you're just going through the day-to-day, the mundane. And you're looking for a way out. Or maybe you are where, like I was, you are like an opportunity junkie. You have the shiny object syndrome. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That you try this opportunity, you try to sign up that opportunity, you buy this course, you go to that seminar, you try drop shipping, you try Amazon, you try social media, you try multi-level marketing, you try all kinds of things, you're on all kinds of email lists, and some of those programs are good, but somehow you feel the pieces are missing. You don't know, you cannot pinpoint exactly what it is. But something is missing and you don't know why. And you don't understand why you've been working on this shit for a long time and how come you are still not where you want to be. And you're looking for that answer. I'm gonna give you the answer today. Or maybe you're a business owner. You're an entrepreneur and you're looking for some proven strategies on how to grow your company. How do you scale that business? How do you increase your sales? How do you compete in an environment when there's so much fucking noise in the marketplace? And you don't know how. And you read so many damn books, they all have contradicts information and knowledge. And now you're just more confused than ever. I do not know why you're here. I really don't know. But here's what I do know. That I have been there and done that. You see, I was born in Hong Kong. I immigrated to Canada when I was 14 years old. With no money, no connections, and not a word of the English language on my lips. Couldn't speak a word of English. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 16 years old. I am the only child in my family. By the time I was 17 years old, my dad went bankrupt. He was $1 million in debt because basically his partner took all his money and disappeared. And my dad never recovered from that. And as the only child in my family, at a very young age, I had to learn to be self-reliant. I had to stop being a fucking boy and grown up and to be a man, to take care of my family, to provide for my mom. And that's why I got into the business world at a very young age. I started my first business when I was in high school, just mowing lawns for people in our neighborhood. That was my first business. And I was doing delivery. I was doing cleaning services. I was fixing computers for people. Anything that could make a little bit of money so that I could provide for my mom. That was my motivation. At the time, the only asset that I had was a Ford Escort. A white Ford Escort that I bought from my mom's friend, my aunt, for $2,500. That was the only asset that I had. And I would drive my mom to get groceries in that car. And sitting here today, from that $2,500 piece of crap lemon to in a Bentley, that I am having this conversation with you. What changed? What transformed my life? How did I get from there to here? You see, I'm a living proof that it doesn't matter the roads you've been down, it doesn't matter the mistakes that you made, it doesn't matter your background, I don't care where you came from, that I am a living proof that your past doesn't equal your future. That if you want it bad enough, with the right guidance, with the right vehicle, with the right skill, you could turn your dreams into reality. You don't need to watch someone's videos, you don't need to follow someone on Instagram, and you don't need to be jealous. You don't need to think about, how would I get there? How someday maybe I could have that. Fuck that someday. You gotta make it happen. You gotta do something about it. You can watch this video, you can leave this page, you don't have to follow any of my work, you don't have to read my fucking book, and here's what happens. Tell me what's gonna happen. Your life stays the fucking same. Maybe I'm the guy to help you, maybe I'm not the guy to help you. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, if you don't do something, your life stays the same. The definition of insanity, you know it, is doing the same thing again and again, expect a different fucking result. That's the definition of insanity. But if you want it bad enough, I think what I'm about to share with you will change your life. You never look at your finance, you'll never look at your business, you'll never look at your life the same way again. And the very first concept I'm going to teach you is a concept that changed my life. Most people don't know how to make money, fewer know how to keep it, and almost no one knows how to multiply it. I'm going to teach you how to make money, keep money, and most importantly, multiply money. I'm going to teach you the wealth triangle. Now look at the wealth triangle here. The very first stage, the very first cornerstone of the wealth triangle is what I call high income skills. Now, what do I mean by high income skills? I define high income skills as a skill that you can make a minimum of $10,000 a month. $10,000 a month. You could be turning your passion, your experience, your expertise into money. Now, I'm not talking about a high income job. Maybe you have a high income job right now that's making you six figure. That's not what I'm talking about. Because with a job, who dictates how much you get paid? Your boss, your organization, your company. Can you increase it by 20% every single year? Can you double it in the next 6 months? You cannot. You're limited by where you work, your geographic area, or you have a glass ceiling. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about high income skill. It is a skill that you have. A skill that you can bring to the marketplace and deliver value in exchange of money. Now, you are trading hours for dollars, yes, but you're trading hours for high dollars. Your high income skill provides you with stability, peace of mind, and your comfort is so critical to develop that first. That's your very first stage of the wealth triangle. You can see right here. The second stage, let's say now you have a high income skill that's making you $10,000 a month. Then you move on to stage 2. Now for stage 2 is what I call scalable business. Not just any business, a scalable business. A scalable business, it allows you to, you're now leveraging other people's time, other people's system. Now your business makes you money. Let me give you some examples of a scalable business. Now it could be a software company, it could be a digital marketing company, it could be internet marketing. Anything that you could scale, you could grow without a lot of infrastructure. Now let me ask you a question. Let's say you own a restaurant and you want to make more money. What do you have to do? Maybe you have to open up more locations, the second location, third location, fourth location. Is that a scalable business? In my book, that is not. Because every single time you have to open up a new location, you have to sign new lease, you have to renovate, you have to bring on new people. It costs a lot of money. Now, there are people make money with that, and that's perfectly fine. I'm just saying within what I do, that's not the model that I like to spend time on. So that's a scalable business. A scalable business provides you with cash flow. Cash flow. And then you have the third stage. Now your business is making you money. Now, the third stage is what I call high return investments. And I define high return investments as investments that would give you a minimum 10% return year in and year out. Not just 1 year, year in and year out. And now your high return investments provides you with, it builds your net worth. It builds your wealth. So here's how this works. First, you focus on your high income skill. You want to make that 10K a month a minimum. The problem with most people is this. They have no fucking high income skills and they want to jump into a business. And you see this a lot. Sometimes you see it on Dragon's Den if you watch those shows. You see it on Shark Tank. They have an idea, they have an invention, they sink their life savings, they mortgage their homes, they borrow from their family and friends, and they build this board game, they build this widget. Whatever it is, they bring it to the marketplace, and then what happens? They lose their shirt. Because they've got no foundation, they don't have a foundational skill, they don't have a high income skill. They want to get rich quick. That's not how you do it. Or you see this online a lot as well. People who is working in a dead-end job, making $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month, and then they want to get rich quick. What do? They invest in cryptocurrency. They buy real estate with no money down. They highly leverage. They speculate. These are not investors. These are speculators. They get into high return investments. And then what happens? Let's say you buy a piece of property, your tenant moves out, the toilet broke, you're fucked. That's not how you get rich and stay rich. First, you want to focus on high income skill. This is so critical because now it gives you clarity. You know exactly where you need to focus on versus, oh, here's an idea, maybe I should buy that, maybe I should do that, maybe I should start that business, maybe I should invest that. All this noise, you get distracted and you lose focus and you lose direction. But from now on, you can follow this blueprint. I've given you the roadmap to wealth. This is what I teach. This is what I follow. High income skill, scalable business, high return investments. High income skills gives you cash that you can pay the bills with today. Scalable business gives you cash flow. When you have so much cash flow, when your scalable business is throwing off so much cash, now you can put into high return investments and it builds your net worth. When I learned this in my career, first I didn't have a name for it, but when I learned this, it changed everything I do. Because here's why. I stopped looking to get rich overnight. I stopped looking for that magic pill. I stopped looking for whatever that sounds good to make me a few bucks. That maybe I would start this business, I would start that business. No. I asked myself the one fucking question that changed my life. One single question, and that is this. What's the one high income skill that I could develop today that would forever free me from financial struggles and worries forever? One more time. What's the one high income skill that I could develop today that would free me from financial struggles and worries forever? And that changed my life. Listen to the noise. There's so much noise in the marketplace nowadays. The marketplace is more competitive than ever. Have you noticed that entrepreneurs and companies and CEOs, they are busier than ever? The cost of advertising is going up. What it costs to acquire and bring in customers, that cost is going up. There's so many choices out there for consumers to choose from. So how do they stand out? What happens is nowadays, a lot of these initial sale, things that's maybe under $100 or $200, they become the initial sale to bring the customers in the door. So the companies, entrepreneurs can build trust with them. That $200 is not designed to make them money. They don't make profits on that. It's designed to bring the customers and earn their trust. Now you might be saying, Dan, what has that to do with me? Well, this is where you and I come in. You have to understand this. Anything that's above $200, let's say $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000, $25,000. I refer to these sales as high-ticket offers. And these high-ticket offers, it's virtually impossible to be closed on just a website or through a video or through an email. They need to be closed on the telephone. These companies, they need someone like you and me, high-ticket closers, to get on the phone with these potential clients, to close them on the phone. And when you can do that, they're more than happy to pay you 10%, 15%, or even 20% commission when you can do that. It means here's a $10,000 sale. If you can help me close a sale, I'm more than happy to pay you $1,000. It is extremely, extremely powerful because think about it. This is what it means. It means there's so much demand in the marketplace. Companies, organizations, entrepreneurs, they need closers like you and me. It means that you can make an incredible income without ever creating a product, without running a single ad, and without cold calling anybody. Because every single month, these companies, entrepreneurs, they're spending a fortune driving traffic, generating the leads, converting those leads, running webinars, publishing content, so they can bring these customers in with the low ticket offers, but they don't make the real money. They don't make the big money until you're not on the phone to close these sales. That's why this is such a huge, huge opportunity. Are you getting this? I want you to imagine you're running a relay race with Usain Bolt. Imagine he's running the first 399 meters. And at the very last step, he's handing you the baton, and you run that last 1 meter. And you're racing against all these other teams. But let me ask you this question. You take the baton, and you take that one step, and you cross the finish line. Aren't you part of the winner's team? And let me ask you another question. Who gets all the glory? Who gets all the fame? Who gets all the applause? The person who took the baton and crossed the finish line. That's you, and that's who. And this is what's happening online. All over the world, all these companies, all these entrepreneurs, they're spending a lot of time, they're spending a lot of money. They get in the race, they condition for the race, they train for the race, they're running on the race, and they get to that 399 meters, and they're just one step away from crossing the finish line, and you help them cross that finish line. And they do all these marketing, they spend all this effort, and you are the one that helped them cross the finish line. And they need you, and that's why they need you. And I'm not talking about just certain businesses. I'm talking from a one-man, one-person, one-woman influencer to Fortune 500 companies. And you know what happens when you do that? They say, you know what? Here's my prize money, $10,000. I want you to have $1,000 of it. I want you to have 10% of it, or 15% of it, or 20% of it. Although they've done 99% of the work, but you help them with that last 1%. You did the 1% that matter. You help them cross the finish line. I'm gonna prove to you why high ticket closing is the easiest money that you'll ever make. This is my office, have a seat. Let me show you some numbers. Now remember what I talked about, that these companies, they're spending a fortune every month, driving traffic, converting those traffic, converting into customers and publishing content, and then doing all these things, right? So you think about it. They know that they are leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions of dollars on the table without someone like you and I getting on the phone and closing these high ticket sales. They don't have the time or ability to do this. They are busy running their businesses, right? They don't have the ability, they don't know how do you close on the phone. They're too busy doing the day-to-day. And here's the thing, even though they could accidentally find some of these closers, and there's a big difference between closer and salespeople. I'm not talking about salespeople. Good closers, you cannot just run some ads on Craigslist or Kijiji and find them. That's not where you find closers, right? Closers close sales. Coffee is for closers, right? So even they could find them, they haven't got a clue on how do you train them, how do you manage them. And they don't have the inclination to do any of this. And they jump on the opportunity when we could show up and close these high ticket sales for them, right? They know how to train the people, and they have an advertising budget. They have an advertising budget in place. They're already spending money. They're already driving traffic to those offers. They just need someone to help them with that last step to close these high ticket sales. So let me crunch some numbers with you. So let's say, now I'm going to assume that, let's say you work 9 to 5, assume that you don't want to work 9 to 5, and most people, they don't want to work long hours if they have a choice, right? You don't want to work long hours if you have a choice. So I'm going to demonstrate, I'm going to prove to you how you can make a 6-figure income with just one client. Yes, just one client, that's it, one client. And how to make that money, working just a few hours a week. So let me show you. So let's run some numbers. Let's say your client, the people you're closing for, they have a $5,000 high ticket offer. So 5K, you can see that, $5,000. and let's say your commission is 10%. 10%. So you're making $500 a sale. $500 a sale, 10%. And let's say your closing ratio using my proven script is 20%. So 1 out of 4. So every 4 people that you talk to, you close their sales. So 1 out of 4, 20%. I have students that are closing 40 to 50%, but we're gonna use bad numbers. I'm gonna be conservative here, okay? And let's say you talk to 5 qualified prospects a day, okay? Just 5. You talk to 5 people every single day. And all the leads are provided to you, keep that in mind. We don't do outbound, we only deal with inbound leads. All of them are pre-sold and pre-qualified. So that means you make how many sales a day? 1 sale a day. That means how much money you make? $500 a day. And let's say that you don't want to work too hard, you just want to work maybe 4 days a week. You want to take 3 days off and do whatever you want. That's cool, spend time with the family, awesome. Work 4 days a week. That's $2,000 a week. $2,000 a week that you're making. A lot of people, they only make $2,000 a month. That's $8,000 a month that you're making with absolutely no business expense whatsoever. 0. 8 grand a month. And here's the best part. Remember, you're making 10%? Let me ask you this. How much money you just made your client? $80,000 in that month. $80,000 of value. You brought in $80,000 worth of business that month for that entrepreneur, for that company. Is your client happy? Yes. Are you happy? Yes. Is the prospect that you're closing for, that they're highly invested to solving a problem that they have, investing in a high ticket offer, are they happy? Yes. So it's a win-win-win. But here's what gets very interesting. Let's say that your client has a $10,000 high ticket offer. But I have students right now closing $12,000, $25,000, $50,000, even a $100,000 deal. But let's say your client has a $10,000 offer. And your commission, because you're now a little bit better, you have a little bit more experience through training, instead of being 10%, it's now 15%. 15%. So how much you're making? You're making $1,500 each sale. 1,500 bucks, $1,500. Your closing ratio, let's say you're now practicing, you're getting a little bit better, is 25%. So 1 out of 4. You close 1 out of 4 the people that you talk to on the phone. You talk to 8 qualified prospects a day. 8. Instead of 4 or 5, you say, you know what, Dan, I don't mind talking to more people a day. I want to make more money. Okay, so 8 qualified prospects a day. What does that mean? Remember, all the leads are provided to you. All the leads are warm leads and pre-sold and pre-qualified. That means you're making 2 sales a day. How much is that? That's $3,000 that you're making. $3,000 a day. Most people don't even make $3,000 a month. And let's say you don't mind the hustle. You say, I'm aggressive, I want to make more money. Good. Let's say you're willing to work 5 days a week. 5 days, and you're taking 2 days off. That's $15,000 a week. Not a month. $15,000 a week that you're making. That's $60,000 a month. $720,000 a year. I want you to think about that. And what's the cost of running a business? 0. What's the cost of advertising? 0. What's your risk? 0. You want to work more hours? Absolutely. You want to work less hours? You want to take a month off? Sure. You're in control of your destiny. $720,000. Am I promising that you're going to make that kind of money? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if you're an overachiever, if you're willing to put in the effort and learn this skill. But here's what I do know. Would it be worth it if you only make half of that? Let's say you're going to make $300K. Fuck that. What if you just make $100K? Spare time. Keep doing what you're doing, but on your spare time, you develop a high income skill as a high ticket closer, and you make an additional $100K a year. Wouldn't that be pretty good? How would that kind of income change your life? Ask yourself that question. Can you see how this is possible? It's not even possible. How this is probable. It's not just probable. This is reality. This is what's happening right now. This is what's happening with all my students. How would that kind of income change your life? So why am I sharing this with you? There are 2 reasons. The first one is very obvious. I'm on a mission to impact 1 million people worldwide. And you can see that's why I put out so much valuable content on social media, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. It's all for free. It's all for you to consume. Maybe you've watched some of my videos. Maybe you've read my books. Maybe you've watched my podcasts. I do it because every single day I get feedback from you. I get comments from people all over the world telling me how my work has impacted their lives. So I'm on a mission to impact 1 million people. The second reason, which is a darker, more sinister reason, and that is I need your help. Because every single day I'm getting requests from companies, from entrepreneurs, every single day, and they tell me, Dan, I need closers. I need closers to scale. I need closers for my business. Do you know anybody? Now, I have two choices. I have two options. Number one, I could get a massive office space, build the infrastructure, and have a typical sales floor, hire lots of employees, and work with all these companies and all these clients from all over the world. That's option number one. But that's not the lifestyle that I want. Number two, I could certify a small group of closers that I personally train, that I trust, and give them these contracts and earn a small override on top of that. That's why I'm here, and that's why I'm sharing this with you, because I need closers for what I do. So it's not just because I am very nice, which I am, amazing, kind human being, but also I'm an entrepreneur at heart. So this is a win-win situation. I'm gonna give you a skill that you can make $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $25,000, and if you're even an overachiever, it may be $50,000 a month. In return, you're gonna help me work with these clients. I'm gonna make a little bit of money over each client. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. So, I have an invitation for you. In the next few weeks, I'm gonna take a small group of people that I'm gonna train. I'm gonna teach them everything I know when it comes to closing on the phone. Everybody's forgotten that the telephone is the number one skill, the number one most powerful ways to make money online without actually, quote unquote, being online. You know what? Let other people, let them focus on the blogging and the Facebook ads and the funnel and the techniques and the marketing. Let them do all of that. But you help them cross that finish line. You do the 1% that matters. So here's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna train you in the next 7 weeks within my high ticket closer certification program. This is not some bullshit program where you just watch some videos online. Oh, here's your password, here's your username, watch my videos. No. This is me training you live from the comfort of your own home. You don't need to travel to anywhere. You can access the material. I'm gonna teach you live alongside with your fellow classmates, a group of closers, potential closers. We're gonna train you within over a 7-week period of time. Every single week, we're gonna get on the phone. You're gonna get on a live class. I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna role play with you. Each class may last 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours. Okay, it's very, very intense. So think of this as a live mentorship from me. When I'm coaching you, when I'm mentoring you, each class, you have questions, we unmute you, and we go. This is how it's gonna work. Because I don't believe I can teach you the high ticket closing skill with just you watching some videos. I don't believe in that. This is a very, very powerful program. We now have students from over 70 countries. What started off as one closer, a program, now it's a global movement. Maybe you've seen some of those video testimonials, some of those stories from my YouTube channel or on Facebook. It is one of the most powerful skills that you could develop. So if you go to Clarity, you can see, if you type in my name, clarity.fm, I charge $5,000 an hour for my one-on-one consulting. In the high ticket closer certification program, within the 7 weeks, you'll get a minimum 14 hours of my time. That's $70,000 worth of value. No bullshit, that's what my time is worth. I'm gonna take the time, I'm gonna coach you. I'm gonna work with you. More than that, I'm not just giving you a skill, I'm gonna give you the mindset that you need. Maybe you've done sales in the past, maybe you haven't. It does not matter. I don't care what you've done, I don't care your experience, how much experience you have or how little experience you have. We're gonna start this together. We're gonna start from scratch. I'm gonna teach you exactly how the business works. And at the end of the program, I'm gonna give you the contracts. If you're good, I've got contracts lined up, I've got influencers, I've got companies lined up ready to hand you these contracts so you can, right after you graduate from the program, you can start making money right now. So that's the 7 week. And by the end of 7 weeks, I'm also gonna send you a beautiful certificate that you can very, very proud hang it on your wall. And you can call yourself a high ticket closer. We have students telling me that they have law degree, they have university degree, but nothing compares. They are more proud getting this high ticket closer certification program certificate versus any of these other degrees. And that's a pretty powerful statement. And I think you'll know why once you've gone through the program. And when you take action right now, here's what I want you to do. When you take action right now, I'm also gonna give you some bonuses. Before I talk about the bonuses, let's talk about the investment. So the investment of this particular program, it is not $70,000. It's not even $50,000. It's not $25,000, which is what I charge for a day of consulting. It's not even $10,000. It's not even $5,000, which is what I charge for just 1 hour of my time. The investment for HTC, the High Ticket Closer Certification Program, is only $24.95. It's $2,500. That's it. And if your cash flow is tight, I get it, I've been there as well. You can also take advantage of our 3 easy pay option. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to www.fumoney.com/action. Again, www.fumoney.com/action. And when you take action right now, I'm going to give you some amazing, some pretty spectacular bonuses, which you want to know what they are. Number one, I'm going to include my 6 steps to 6 figures system. Now, this system has helped hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs around the world, and hundreds of entrepreneurs have invested $1,995 into this program to pay for this program. I'm going to include it for free as a bonus to you. Why am I giving you this bonus? Because as a closer, what happens is you'll be working with influencers. You got that, right? When you watch this video, when you watch this training, you'll see 200 of them in the room. I want you to get the other side of the coin, because these are the influencers you'll be working with. I want you to know how they think and what I'm teaching them in terms of branding and positioning, how they think, because those are the clients you'll be working with. So I want to give that to you as a bonus. Now, if you own your own business, this program alone is worth the cost of the mission, so-called. That's bonus number one. You like that? Number two, I'm also going to give you actual recordings of these high-ticket sales calls and also role plays. So you can hear it. So not just as a theory, here's what you say, here's how to say it, here are the questions you will ask, here's how you handle objections. Not just that, you're going to hear actual sales call. How my closers close a $5,000 sale? How my closers close a $10,000 sale? How my closers close a $25,000 sale? What does that sound like? So you get practical experience, and I want you to listen to it again and again, maybe multiple times, so you get it, right? That's bonus number two. That's easily a $5,000 worth of value. Bonus number three. You know how sometimes you buy a program, you invest in some kind of program. Maybe you've invested in other programs in the past. You buy it, you have the best intention, you want to learn it, you want to use it, but then you don't. To help you solve this problem, you also get access to our Facebook group community. And I almost don't like to want to call it a Facebook group, because there are a lot of Facebook groups out there. Frankly, most of them are garbage, right? The people are garbage. I mean, they're negative, they're not active, right? And you don't get a lot of value from it. Our HTC Facebook group, I can guarantee you, is the most powerful, most positive Facebook group you've ever been associated with. The minute after you take action, you get access to our Facebook group. you take a look. You take a look at the success stories. I want to take a look at the photos. I want you to introduce yourself, and you see the support that you'll get. And here's the thing. Every single one of them, they're going through the same process. They're going through the journey, or they've gone through the journey in the past. They are there to support you with no agenda, because this is what we call the HTC family. There's a culture that I've built. Students from all over the world, they are there with one purpose, and that's to grow and to help you and to support you. It's truly amazing. When I log in every single day, I'm still amazed by just my mentees, the community that we have from all over the world. And that's why truly it's a global movement. So when you take action today, when you go to www.fumoney.com/action, I'm going to give you access to our Facebook group. Not for 1 week, not for 5 weeks, not for 7 weeks, not for 3 months, not for 1 year. You'll get lifetime access to the Facebook group. And you'll see that I'm there very actively. My closers are there very actively. My co-instructors, Desmond and Kayvon, they're there very actively. And we are always adding value. If I'm updating the course, I'm adding new materials, you will get it for free. You'll get it for free. Every time we've added so many things like companion guides, scripts, and tools. All these tools, they're one-time investment, they're $2,500. It gives you lifetime access to any updates that we have. Why? Because I want you to succeed. Because your success is my success. The more successful you are as a closer, the more successful I am as a teacher. And this is how this works. So let me ask you this question. If all the high ticket closer program did for you was to help you generate $10,000 a month, just $10,000 a month, would that be worth the investment? If all the high ticket closer program did for you was to give you the skill, give you the financial confidence, and give you that little bit of that skill that you need to feel confident again, would that be worth it? So go ahead, go to www.fumoney.com/action. I teach this program only a few times a year, and I teach it live every single time. So when you go there, when you get yourself enrolled into the program, we're going to give you all the information. I'm going to tell you when the next class is starting. Could be a couple of weeks from now. And join us. And join us. Because think about it. Think about it. If not you, then who? And if it's not now, then when? I believe you can either make money or you can make excuses. You want to make money, then just make money. You want to make excuses, that's fine, but then don't complain. Don't complain while you're stuck. Don't complain while you're not getting the results that you want. Don't complain. Because you have hesitated long enough. Think about it. Today is the day. You're watching this for a reason. You've been watching this long video for a reason. You've hesitated long enough. You've waited long enough. You've struggled long enough. Today is the day that you say, you know what, fuck it. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. That your future is worth it. Your family is worth it. That you are worth it. And you're gonna take that step, take that leap of faith. I know it's scary, I get it. But take that leap of faith. Don't take my words. Look at my students. Read all those hundreds and hundreds of testimonials. And you take that action. And from today forward, you're going to have a skill that can serve you, a high income skill that can serve you for the rest of your life. And HTC will show you how to do that. So go ahead, join us. And I look forward to seeing you on the inside.
Imagine you can close an $8,000 deal using just one simple technique from the HTC program by Sifu Dan Lok. Hi, I'm Jack Wong. I'm from Singapore, and I'm a graduate of batch number 2 of the HTC program. Recently, my client asked, can you prove to me that you have got testimonials to back up what you say is true? So I used Dan Lok's technique that I've learned in HTC program. situation was turned around. Eventually, the clients said yes to me, and therefore the deal is closed. There's 8,000 Singaporean dollars in my pocket as a direct result of using just one simple technique that I learned from Sifu Dan Lok. It's amazing, it's fantastic. I didn't know that worked until I actually make it happen. So thanks again, Sifu. Good job, and it's so marvelous to get to know you.
Hi, my name is James Styler, and I have been learning and applying the high ticket closing methodologies taught by Dan Lok into my own business. And what it has done for me is it has basically taken the level of stress in the whole process of closing and selling, and it has just made the whole process of closing a lot more easier, freer, and it's just added an entire new dance and a flow to the whole process. And really what that's looked like, sort of as an end result, is it's helped me to double my closing ratio from 30 to 40% to 75%, which feels really darn good. Not only that, but it helped me to sell a bunch of cars with a lot more grace and ease, and my commission check as a result was $7,500. So if you're thinking about taking this course and learning a high ticket skill, which I highly recommend you do, because a high ticket skill is only going to increase the quality and quantity of your life anywhere on planet Earth. So if you're thinking about it, all I have to say is just do it.
But with the HTC program, there's like no doubt in my mind of the value and things that have transcribed in here, and I know that the things that people could get from this program is like astronomical. So with that said, I'm going to also apply these skills that I've learned to try to get my own clients, aside from Dan's opportunities and aside from the other things that have presented itself. And on top of that, I've already applied the HTC skills to my business. So even, it doesn't matter what happens, I'm able to take this right to my agency and start implementing it right away. Instead of, like I said, don't wait for things to happen. You gotta grab life by the horns and get going. And the HTC program gives you the skills and the tools that you need to make that happen and make things come to fruition, and having a better quality approach to your success. And if I was to look at my life 12 months from now, I would love to be back working on the business for several months by this point. The business is doing well, the agency is growing, I'm doing high ticket sales, and I've brought in a partner. I already have a partner for my business, but I would love to make that partner more of the owner and nitty gritty of things with the agency, and then just send me out to do all the sales calls. Have me, manage the team and do the things that I got to do to make sure that agency becomes successful.
Hey Desmond and everybody, it's Mark Logan here, just giving you an update on my status with my high income skill that I learned from HTC. And so far, right now, I have closed over $60,000 in sales. And I've also closed some joint venture partners, closed some extended contracts for some clients of mine. And it's just been absolutely unreal to this point. It was February, the beginning of February, when I started closing. And, now we're only halfway through April and already at this point. So, completely mind-blowing across the board. And I'm excited for new contracts that I have coming up for influencers and to start closing some even bigger deals on the phone, some up to $25,000 and I think $30,000 as well. So that's going to be really exciting. So as always, I appreciate the support. Hope everybody continues to do well, and as usual, be great.
And looking back at the transformation going through this program and moving forward, it's absolutely incredible. It really exposed me to a lot of the limiting beliefs that have been holding me back around wealth and abundance. And as far as the actual skill of high ticket closing, it really showed me how many opportunities are around us everywhere. All of us, it's absolutely incredible, really eye-opening. And then as far as specifics, my communication skills and my level of confidence, my ability to speak with conviction, my ability to influence those around me in a very positive way has just exponentially grown literally every week. My relationship with my parents now has just skyrocketed. and it is far beyond anything I could have ever asked for or imagined. Same thing with a lot of my friends. And going back to the actual skill of closing, I graduated 1 week ago, and I've had so many calls and so many opportunities are coming up. And it's just crazy to see now that it only takes one partnership as well to absolutely change your life. So now when I look forward 12 months, it's just so clear to see that I'm going to be making a six-figure income, if not in 3 months or 4 months, or even sooner. We'll see, but it's just so clear there, and personal development-wise, the amount I've grown and seen everybody else going through this program grow in the span of only 7 weeks is absolutely mind-blowing. So if I think like a year down the road of where I'll be in my own personal growth, I can't even quantify it. This is only the beginning. So one final point for those that might be on the fence about this, or you're unsure if it's worth the money and stuff. I just want to ask you a question. How much longer are you willing to stay in your current situation? Because I know for myself, I got very comfortable tolerating mediocrity, and that can be a very dangerous place to stay. So if my words aren't enough, just think about it this way. If Dan even has the smallest chance of influencing you and teaching you this high performance skill that could absolutely enhance the trajectory of your life, wouldn't that be worth it? And if it is just a money thing, I can tell you from my experience coming out now, you're going to come out of this and right away know how to make that money back, 10 times that very quickly. So the decision is really yours, but I would highly recommend enrolling in Dan Locke's HTC program. Finally, thank you, Dan Locke and your team. What you've given to me has been truly invaluable, and it's again, it's really just the beginning. So yeah, see you guys. Thanks again.
Hi, my name is Susan, and with my new high-ticket closing skills, I have completed sales of over $25,000. In the first 6 weeks following my successful completion of the course, I closed 3 influencers to work with me. I entered into this with no sales skills whatsoever, and I have taken that closing rate of mine and I've tripled it in the initial few short weeks. Because of the training that has been given to me on the abundance mindset, I now see opportunities everywhere. And by applying what I've learned, I now have 3 deals what I'm working on, and they'll close next month. Those 3 deals will provide me with an income of $150,000.
Hi, my name is Tyler Cerny, and I joined the HTC program to master the skill of closing over the phone. Not only that, I joined the HTC community to work with like-minded individuals and Dan Locke himself. What I really liked about this program was the format. 7 weeks, 7 live calls of Dan Locke telling you what it takes to have a high-performing mindset and how to master the high-ticket skill of closing over the phone. Now that I've gone through this course, I'm able to approach CEOs at Fortune 500 companies, influencers, and high net worth individuals and have the conversation of how can I be an asset to your team? How can I provide value? This is an opportunity that I did not have before investing in this program. Now I'm on pace to pay off all my student loans and all my credit card debt. I highly recommend this course, and if you invest the time and energy into what Dan talks about, then you will see a change in your life and your bank account.
Hi everyone, I'm Victoria from Philadelphia, and I am now a high-ticket closer. So, what motivated me to join the high-ticket closer certification program in the first place? Well, first of all, I'm going to backtrack a little bit, but a few months ago, I was honestly completely lost. I had lost focus of my dreams. I had lost focus of my goals. I had lost focus of who I am. And to be completely honest with you, I felt really lost, okay? So I felt so lost like I have not felt before. I remember before going to college, I was a lot more alive, but it's been about 2 or 3 years now since I've graduated university, and I have never felt so lost. I mean, I went into the corporate world. I've been working a couple of jobs, and it's just working that more than 40 hours a week to like 60 hours at times, it can be quite exhausting. So one of the main reasons why I really joined this program is to set myself free and get back my confidence get back my passion, get back my drive, get back my energy, get back everything that I had when I was younger. And for some reason, I got so sucked into this world that it took it all away from me. And it took it all away from me without me realizing it, and without me realizing that it's draining me.
And this program is going to be the first step in what's going to enable me to help a lot of people, because I'm now helping myself. You know, in 12 months from now, I'm going to be making $20,000 a month consistently using my high-ticket skill set, as well as with that will enable me to have the time, the schedule, and the money to spend more time with my girlfriend, my family, and my friends, which are really the things that are most important to me. Also, I'm going to be able to travel. I'm going to be able to have the lifestyle I want and not be confined to the limitations of a job. If someone was skeptical about this program, I would just say be resourceful. You know, there's so many ways to come up with the money, and making investment in yourself is the best way to, in my opinion, get a return on said investment. I'm already on pace to be getting 5, 10, maybe even 20 times return on my investment alone in this year, which is incredible. I don't know any other program that can do that for you. So really, this program is worth way more than I actually paid for it. Every class was over-delivered in spades. So really, all I have to say to Dan and his team is thank you so much, because you guys, I invested in you and you guys believed in me, and therefore I'm now on pace to have a fantastic year and a fantastic life. Thank you so much, Dan and team.
Hey everyone, William Wong here, graduating from batch 1. And I'm generally not one to brag, but hey, I'm up for a challenge. So here's my results from Dan's teachings so far. So shortly after graduating back in November, I put my HTC skills to the test. I closed my JV partner at the time on refinancing a property that we purchased 5 years ago. We were basically able to pull out our initial down payments and netted just about 22,000 profits each. Then my second big win was actually just beginning of this April. I was able to close a money partner, and basically that netted me a $26,000 check on closing a rent-to-own deal. So 2 things that made this possible for me, these results, I guess you can say. Number 1 is actually really mindset, and of course, you know, the abundance is key as well. Number 2 is actually you know, writing, reviewing, and you know, adjusting your goals on a daily basis actually is a really big thing. And of course, once you start getting these big checks, you don't want to go back, right? And I guess one last thing before I go. The view is different when you lead and your goals are closer than you think.
So I was motivated to join the HTC program because I was invited by my previous mentor, Matt Asifan, social media director. And I start generating results from that. And then he started introducing Dan Lok, which is, I was like, Dan Lok? He sounds familiar. And I said, Dan Lok, yeah, the guy wearing the red suit. So I met Dan back in 2015 in November at a socialite conference. And then I love this guy. So much energy, so much enthusiasm, so much knowledge. And you know that this guy is bar none in terms of delivering content. And that's what I love. And that's what I follow into mentors. And that's why I invest in this kind of people, because they do it passionately with love. And it triggers your emotional feelings plus your logical thinking, which is amazing. So what makes me surprised about HTC is just the community itself. It's phenomenally crazy in a good way. I love the engagement. I love the mentors. Dan, Desmond, Kayvon, crazy energy. It's just like not just hype, but hard truth about life. And this guy went through all of that. This guy's all started from scratch, and that's the best part, being part of HTC. And one time, and we do webinars, we do actually like not an hour, not 2 hours, 3 hours, but almost actually 4 hours passed by already, and still this guy's freaking delivering values. That's insane. And they still have time to do question and answers for people who are question, like of course, I had a lot of questions. But some, at the end of the night, it started 2, 3 a.m. and they're still taking questions. And that's what blows my mind. Like, let's be truthful here. I love these guys because they deliver. And they have so much heart, so much passion that puts into this program. So thank you guys. I truly appreciate it. So how Dan impacted my life. First, I met Dan. I still remember the date. That was back in November 2015 when they had a Social Light conference. And this guy walked inside the room quietly with a nice red, shining red suit. And it's amazing. Anyway, I still remember what he said. Not exactly, but this is what he said. Let your adversity be your strength. Again, he said, let your adversity be your strength. And that means is he talks a story about him from Hong Kong, and then he migrated with his mom. I was born and raised by a single mom, and with that exact same feeling, I felt it from Dad, that he is truly sincere in what he said. And I love my mom so much. That means all to me. She means all to me. All of my hard work for all these years that I've been failing and start now for the past 2 years generating souls, it's because for her. I work hard for her because I want her to have a better life. Of course, I have big dreams, but she is one of my why I do what I do. And I thank Dan because of that, because I've seen it in his eyes, like an ordinary kid like me before. I think that's 3 years ago, when I was young, dumb, and broke, had this chance in life that, you know what, if Dan did it, I could do it. If he succeed, for sure in the near future, I'll make it happen and I'm gonna succeed as well. So that's why after that program, after my certification program with social media director, and Matt introduced Dan, I was like, fuck yeah, let's work together. I love Dan. I've seen him. I watched a ton, most of his videos, especially TEDx, about self-reflection. It was freaking amazing. I love Dan. That's why I joined the program. And with this high income skill that I've learned with the HTC family, I believe for the next 12 months, I didn't lay out all the things. I don't know. It's just the universe is so beautiful, and so much gratefulness and thankfulness that I have been being grateful, gratitude, that I pray to God, hey, please, if this is for me and if this works, I'll do whatever it takes. And it did happen. And now I'm at a point of stage of 2018 that I want to take it to the next level. I want to step out of my comfort zone and take people with me on whatever program I get into or whatever program that I develop, which is I have right now. So far, I got almost 159 people sign up in this program, and all I need to do is just deliver the content, making sure that they're well taken care of. And 12 months from now, income, it's amazing. My goal is to reach $500,000 by next year. That's my goal. And this year I've reached that point on 6 figures, and then invested a lot, especially on ads and stuff. I'm still working on that process, working on my accounting side, but I do believe in myself. If I push a little bit harder, realistically, I'll reach $500,000 by next year. And then a year after that, $1 million. And I love to hit that goal. It gives me shivers. It's not because of the money. It's because of the reflection of why I actually contributed to the community and society. And if they change their lives, that means I'm doing something right. And that's why I've been paid for the price. And not only that, I have much more bigger opportunities in my mind, especially investing on cryptocurrencies, which is my transition from being an affiliate marketer to being a socialist or something like a pioneer on cryptocurrency or whatever it is. I know I'll get there for sure, because this is me 2 years ago telling I don't know what to do, but I got it. Now I'm telling this that I want to specifically what I want, and I'll get there. I'll make it happen for sure. If I could be the one to ask and close them or educate them and say, hey, if you went to school, how many years did you invested in already? When you understand that you go to school, you go to university, pay the tuition fees to get a job and get the salary, and not knowing that you need to still pay that debt, right? And how many more years are you willing to invest in order to accumulate that money and pay your debt? And then when will it be the time that you're gonna start raking that money, because it's your hard-working money that doesn't need to be paid anywhere. In this program, you can work wherever you want, whenever you want, with who you want, and the income possibilities is through the roof. Sky is the limit as long as you put the hard work, you follow the system, and you take massive action in making it work ethically, legitimately, because that's the only way for you to make that specific amount of figures that you want to make. And the best part about it is this: it doesn't require any technical experience. Okay, no special kit, no special skills or knowledge. All you need to do is just plug in yourself, be open-minded, and learn from the best of the best. Because why? You're learning from the guy who started from scratch and made a multi-million-dollar. You should give all of your ears to this person. And the best part is, the last best part is, you understand, you're excited, you are here, you're listening, because you know, you understand that you deserve much more better in life. And that's all I can say to you. Price doesn't matter. It's not about I can't, it's about how you can afford it. And that's me 2 years ago. I told myself, Matt, I only have $1,000 in my bank account. How can I get started? I just dove in. And the first 2 weeks, I got it back right away, because I took action, because I followed the system, because I believe in mentor, that I know it works. And that's all, whatever it takes. Just follow, do it, take action, and you'll see yourself 2, 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, or keep going, regardless. I don't know what you do or how you're gonna put your work or effort. But if you take action and do what your mentor says, you'll get there.
Hi, my name is Philip, and I've recently completed Dan Locke's High Ticket Closer program. Now, over the past 7 weeks, I've gone through a transformation greater than I would have ever anticipated. I've evolved my physical, my mental, and my emotional approach to closing sales. I've been blown away by the value Dan, Kayvon, and Desmond have delivered, and the genuine care they've had for our success. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced. The level of participation required in this course has been substantial, I'm not going to lie about that. But we've been held accountable by Dan, the HTC family community, and most importantly, by ourselves. I have studied many sales tactics, courses, and listened to so many gurus in the past. And I have to say, HTC has been unlike anything I've ever come across. It has literally given me the ammunition I needed to cement my high-income skill of closing sales. Now, in the next 12 months, I have plans to transition to just working as a high-ticket closer, as this has developed not only into a skill I've learned, but a passion to help people and obviously make great money while doing so. So if you're thinking whether this course is right for you, then stop thinking and start acting, because thinking is not a business plan, and there is no business in the world that won't benefit from closing more sales. So I guarantee you, this will be unlike any sales course you've ever seen, because this is not a course for salespeople, but a course for sales closers.
Hi, my name is Mauricio Tolero. I'm 21 years of age and I'm from Perth, Western Australia. So a little bit about myself. I graduated from university last year, and upon graduation I kind of felt lost. Just like most people in my position, once you graduate, you don't know what to do next, and the next sensible thing that most people say is to get a 9-to-5 job and work with what you graduated, which kind of makes sense, but I knew I didn't want to get a 9-to-5 job. I don't want to work for somebody else, and I kind of want to make my own life, if that makes sense. And So after realizing this, I took a year off and I decided to do bartending while also looking at some online money making opportunities that I briefly heard of. But anyway, I did affiliate marketing, I did MLM, and I did importing from China. Now, I didn't find any success in all of these ventures, unfortunately, but that's okay. And I never really had any passion for any of these things, but it's always good to try different new things and be open-minded. I ended up stumbling across Dan's program, so it's high ticket closing program that I've just gone through. And this was during at work, so I listened in while working, and as soon as the webinar ended, I knew this was something I wanted to do. I literally had to, go to a corner and hide while at work, and I bought it right there on the spot. And I think I had about $40 left in my bank account. But I saw the value, and I knew this was something that I had to invest in myself and purchase. So the three main things that really stood out for me as to why I bought it is because, number one, you're learning a high income skill, which in the market there's high demand for, right? So number two, you work with high quality entrepreneurs. And number three, Dan Lok himself has 2 hours scheduled per week for 7 weeks to be helping you live, right? This is nothing like I've ever experienced, because most programs, I'm sure most can resonate with this, is that you get video after video after video, and there's no real student mentor connection, right? But this program provided that, so I was like, yeah, for sure, I'm in. So of course I bought it on the spot, and I kind of feel like I ripped Dan off. I mean, it was incredible, everything that we've gone through, and Dan really over-delivered. I feel like he gave it his all, and I learned not only about the content, not only about how to do high-ticket selling, but also about the mindset. And I've seen this transformation in myself. I broke past old procrastination habits, and that was a really big one for me, because like I'm sure a lot can resonate, is that you go on Facebook or on Instagram, you get distracted. I mean, that would happen with me in university. I get distracted because I didn't want to do any of these things. But with this program, it all changed. I've loved it ever since I started it, and I'm actually look forward every week. I look forward to the lessons. Unfortunately, it's finished for now, but we'll see what happens. And I know I'll keep the relationship going with the whole Facebook group and Dan Lok and all his mentees, because I mean, everything they've done for us has been invaluable. Dan and his mentees would actually go on the Facebook posts that we post and comment on it themselves, and they'd actually bring up any issues we had in the webinar, as well as any aha moments people had, and it was a great insight. It was so many gold nuggets everywhere. So that's why I feel like I ripped Dan off, because of how much I got and how much I've changed in my life. I'm much more productive, and I've got intent when I'm doing things. It's not mindless, right? I'm more efficient with what I do, and I know from now onwards I'm a changed man, and I have Dan to thank for that. Now, this was my experience, and I hope this helps you come to a decision, because I'm sure many of you are sitting on the fence not knowing what to do. Now, my advice to you, Dan left the door, he left the damn door open, right? He's leaving it open for a short period of time. Get in, run through the door, get into the program, because I'm so glad I did. And if you get the same transformation that I did, I know you're gonna love it. Now, I just want to finish off with, thank you, Sifu Dan.
Hi, my name is Kayvon, and the media also knows me as the one-call closer, and this is my story. About a year ago, I was leaving my corporate job. I was sick of the 9-to-5 working hours. I was sick of always feeling like I was a slave to the hours, a slave to my job, and I was never building something I wanted. I never had the freedom to be able to build my dream. I felt like I was always building someone else's dream. So at 30 years old, I had to make a big decision. I had to leave my corporate job. My friends, my parents, everyone around me thought I was just absolutely crazy. They thought I lost it. but I just knew that there was something more. I just knew that I wanted more and that I deserved more, but I didn't know what to do. So I left the job. I jumped right into the internet marketing world. I tried everything. When I mean everything, I tried the drop shipping. I tried the e-commerce. I tried the affiliate marketing. I tried the coaching, the consulting, the services, the software. I mean, I had tried it all. And I was just fail after fail after fail. All these gurus promising the world, and it just nothing really ever came out of it. Except a year later, I found myself $120,000 in debt. I maxed out 3 lines of credit cards. I had to sell my house. I had to sell my possessions. I wiped out all my stock just trying to make my dream happen with no direction. And it was bad. I mean, I just think about it and the fear. I had no confidence in myself. I couldn't even wake up in the morning because I was just scared and ashamed. And I couldn't even stand the face I saw in the mirror. But I couldn't sleep at night because I had so much worry and so much pain. It was bad. It got so bad, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to pay rent. I had to go and find money from the one place I promised myself I never would go. My parents, my dead broke parents. I had to ask them to take money off the mortgage that they can't even afford so I can pay rent. I'm talking, I was broke, I was broken, I had no hope. And one night, I just had it. I went online and I just put in online entrepreneur, online mentor, and Dan Lok showed up. Now let me tell you, I seen Dan Lok a year before that at one of his TEDx talks. I was sitting in the crowd. He comes on stage with this red suit, acting all Dan Lok style, and I thought to myself, this guy's crazy. Not only that, I'm going to outsell that guy. I'm going to beat that guy. He doesn't even know who Kayvon is. Well, isn't that funny? A year later, I'm asking to be mentored by that same guy. And literally, the moment Dan Lok showed me the way, he opened his doors for me. Within 1 month, he showed me the art of high ticket selling. He showed me the art of high ticket closing. And within 1 month, my business went from losing $25,000. Can you imagine spending $25,000 on a monthly consistent basis without earning a penny just because you believe and everyone's telling you what to do, to earning $25,000 and having no expenses? Listen, I have a business that was losing $25,000. Now I have a business that's doing well over $25,000 with very to no expenses. And that's all because Dan Lok showed me the secret to the art of high ticket closing. He showed me how to build a business around that. He showed me how to build my brand around that. And it was the best thing that's ever happened to me. I learned more in 1 month than I paid $120,000 of trying to learn in a whole year. I now live a life where I always dreamed was possible, but I'm actually turned this dream into my reality. My relationships with everyone around me have gotten stronger. My relationship with my significant other has gotten better. My relationship with my parents, everything. My relationship ultimately with myself. My confidence is higher. I have fear. I don't have fear. I live like a champion, I feel, every day. I'm so grateful. This is what this provided me. The opportunity, the art of high ticket closing, the art of high ticket selling, the idea that Dan had showed me and gave me what I knew was possible, but he made it and gave me it so it became my reality. And the only thing I can think back on is I wish I would have met maybe Dan Lok a little earlier, but even then I just say the best decision I made was hiring Dan, getting that mentor to show me the way.
Hey, this is Ed. I just wanted to tell you that the HTC program has been probably the most profound program I've ever taken in my whole life. I was surrounded by hundreds of amazing, inspiring, and honest and ambitious people that I normally wouldn't have had if I had gone to school or gone to learn from any other program. This isn't the kind of program that you get sent a link and it's a certificate program. You get sent a link and you watch a video, couple videos, and they're pre-recorded, and then that's it. But this is immersive. For me, this has been a life-changing experience for me. I've spent thousands of dollars on tons of different programs from all types of gurus, everyone, you name it. But for me, this program has been life-changing. It's been different for me. I've learned so much more about myself than I ever thought I would ever understand about anything. And the changes that I've started to see in myself, in my family, and in my personal life have just been immense. And I'm extremely grateful to Dan. If you're watching this, thank you so much for changing my life. I know we've just barely started working together and you've just started mentoring me from this program, and I just want to let you know I really, really, truly appreciate you and everything you've done for me. For anyone who is actually skeptical about this program and anyone who thinks the price may be too much or you don't have the money right now, trust me, the money will come. You don't get an opportunity like this once in a while, like very often. I'm a copywriter. I used to do $500 deals, and I had such a hard time closing them. And the clients, they would never respect me. They would treat me like, and I would work hard hours, and they would never really truly treat me like a professional. But literally about a week or two, maybe even 3 or 4 weeks into Dan's program, the high ticket closing program, I closed my first $1,000 deal, and then another $1,000, and then a $1,500 a month with 5% revenue share. Now, if you can pull those results out of anyone else's program, please let me know. I would love to join that. But from my experience, I haven't seen anything like that yet. Not only has my life changed, I've also met hundreds of amazing and ambitious and inspiring people, like I said, and I'm friends with those people for life now. Those are real life connections, real life people who I am friends with, who have inspired me to become a better person. Inside the program, there's so much immersion and accountability that you don't get anywhere else. Having that really allowed me to succeed more and succeed faster, because I knew that if I wasn't doing the homework and I wasn't really pushing myself to succeed, not only would I let myself down, but I would let everyone else down around me. And there's over, I believe in my class, about 280 people. And I would let down every single one of them. Not to mention Dan and his amazing team. So I knew that I had to become successful, not only for me, not only for my family, but for my new friends and for my new future. After the first 2 months, I already doubled my investment back. And I'm confident that if you listen to Dan, you do his teachings, you listen to Kayvon, you listen to everyone else in Dan's team, you can too. So please, for the sake of yourself, for the sake of your future, invest in this program. It's one of the best things that's ever happened to me, and I'm damn sure it will be the best thing that's ever happened to you too.
My name is Darius Rivera, and I am a high-ticket closer. Now, I was first introduced to Dan Locke's program through a webinar. It was actually when I had just moved to Fort Lee, Virginia, because I was starting my career as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army. Now, I didn't have income yet because I wasn't in the pay system, because I had just started active duty, and that takes a little while. So I went into this webinar, and I wasn't sure if I was really going to spend money or what was going to happen, because I didn't have much money at all. I only had about $500 maybe in my bank account. But as I heard Dan speak, word after word, I just felt myself wanting financial success more and more and more and more. That burning desire just got hotter and hotter. Now, once I heard the price, I was saying to myself that I have to find a way to afford this. I have to. I didn't have the funds in my bank account, so I started calling banks, looking up things online, trying to find out how I can get a loan, a line of credit. I didn't have a credit card, so I couldn't use that. and I really didn't have much of a credit history, so I wasn't getting approved for anything. Now I kind of just gave up and said, there's no way I can do this. I can't even ask somebody close to me to lend me money because everybody I know is struggling financially. Now a couple days later, I actually got an email that said that the webinar was gonna happen again. This hit me like a sign, and I was like, I have to find a way to be able to afford this. And so fortunately, my father had just gave me money that day in order to help me get on my feet because I wasn't getting any income, to help me get some food, household essential items, things like that. And what he gave me, it provided enough for me to provide that initial payment for the 3-month payment plan. So I watched that second webinar and I bought the program. I was terrified and excited at the same time. Now, why did I do this? So I grew up in the Bronx, which is one of the 5 boroughs in New York City. And I was constantly surrounded by financial struggle. My family, my friends, their families, strangers on the street, you could just see it and you could feel it. Everybody's worrying about how they're gonna get food on the plate that night, how they're gonna pay their bills that month. And I did not want that. I did not want that to be me at all. Also, unfortunately, my mom and grandma are currently still struggling financially, more so than they were when they raised me. And I want to be able to write them a check for $5,000, $10,000, give it right to them, and have the confidence to make that right back. I also want to surround myself and be immersed with people who are more successful than I am in order to build myself up and make me become more successful and give me the drive and motivation to want to be more successful. I also want to be a motivational speaker and a life coach within the next 10 to 15 years. And so I want to use these skills as my foundation to build upon, and also use these skills to apply in more of an influence setting in order to influence those that I coach and speak to. Now, prior to this program, I never really invested this much amount of money in improving my income. There was only one other thing I tried prior to this, and it was pretty much just a jumbled amount of information shot at you like a fire hose. And since I'm a beginner, I didn't really know what to do with all that information, and so it didn't really work out for me. However, this program, it offers community, it offers mentorship, so any questions you have can and will be answered. It offers that information piece, of course. It offers mindset training to get rid of negative associations with money. It offers a foundation to build upon. So you learn that mindset, then you learn the skills, then you learn how to implement the skills. And it offers support, like I said, that community. There's a high ticket closer family, and we all share our success stories, share our past stories, and we cheer each other on to do better and better each and every day. Now, one thing that really surprised me about this program, it is very step-by-step oriented. Crawl, walk, run. They teach you the basics and they build upon that. So somebody like a beginner, like me, you can jump right in it and you're not gonna fall behind or feel like you're surrounded by people much more advanced than you and you're gonna feel like you can't do it. That doesn't happen. It's built so it can work for beginners and work for those who are advanced. Now Dan Locke, he lit a fire inside of me that made my ambition for financial success bigger than it ever has been in my entire life. He also showed me that it is possible. It's possible. You hear Dan's story, you hear Kayvon's story, some of the classmates, you hear all their stories, and you think to yourself, I've never gone through anything like that, but here I am where they are now. Here I am becoming a high ticket closer. So they show you that it's possible and that you can do it. Within the next 12 months, I see myself having a 6-figure income with my Army paycheck and my high ticket closing commissions combined. I also see myself as being a much more influential person and applying those influence skills in my closing abilities, of course, but also in my leadership roles in the Army. I also see myself having an increased desire and willingness to invest in myself, because seeing the results that I've gotten and seeing the more results that I'm going to get, I know that I'm going to want to invest in myself more, especially since I'll have the financial means to do so. For those of you that are unsure about whether or not you should invest in this program, and if the price scares anybody, or if you think you can't afford it, just go back to the story I said at the beginning of this video. You have to find a way to afford it. I didn't have a credit card. I don't have credit history, so I couldn't really get even a loan or a line of credit. But if you want it bad enough and you have that commitment, you have to find a way to afford it. Because if you do find a way to afford it and you go through the program, you might even find yourself making that money back before you finish the program. Because there are people within the high ticket closing family that I've seen that they've made that money back already. And if you don't make it back during the 7-week program, I assure that you'll make it back afterwards. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Kayvon. And thank you, Desmond, for helping me and giving me the tools to be and to become a high ticket closer.
Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm a graduate of Dan's High Ticket Closer program. Now, I entered this training looking for a vehicle to freedom, looking for a way to establish myself and provide for myself financially, a way to help myself and others. Now, I've joined some programs in the past, but none have really been like Dan's. There's something special to be said about Dan's program. Dan takes his program very seriously, and him and his team put a very sincere and personal touch into every part of the program. There's even a Facebook group where members of the program are there to encourage each other and support each other, and Dan and his team are also there to give comments, to give support, and to give feedback. And honestly, that's what surprised me the most about Dan's program. I've been in other programs before, and that definitely wasn't the case. Now, there's something special to be said about Dan too. You know, Dan has had several impacts on my life, not only in my ability to sell and close over the phone, but just in aspects of my life I didn't expect to get a benefit from. I'm talking my relationships with my family members and with my friends have been better. My methods of interacting with others and communicating what I want to communicate have all changed, and as a result, things in my life have gotten better. People respect me more, and I feel more confident. Now, I'm looking forward to the future after going through Dan's program. I see great things happening to me for the next 12 months of my life. You know, just tomorrow I have a call booked with an influencer who can help me make 15 to 10K per month just by closing their program. And I really look forward to the future and what it has to hold. Now, if the investment for the program is a stretch for you, I want to share you a bit of my story. Dan's program, the investment for Dan's program was more than just a stretch for me. I didn't have enough money for the program when I first saw it. I saw the value of Dan's program and I really wanted it to work. I wanted it to work for me and I wanted to get into it, but I just didn't have the funds. So I made it happen. I found what needed to be done, and I did it. I picked up another job. I started selling some of my belongings, and at the end, I got into Dan's program. And I look forward for the future and my ability to make 10 to 15K per month. Now, I'm not suggesting you do this, yet I'm just letting you know what's possible. Now, regardless of if you choose to enter the program or not, that's fine, but I wish you the best.
What's up, my HTC family? What's up, Dan? What's up, Kayvon? What's up, Desmond? Yes, I am ready to rock. I am so happy that I can have this opportunity to be able to share my experience and share with you my feelings about the HTC program. It is without a shadow of a doubt one of the best decisions I have ever made in my life. But before I even get to share my experience, I gotta say a heartfelt a humongous, as sincere as possible can be, thank you to Dan Locke. Thank you to Kayvon K. Thank you to Desmond Soon. Thank you to the rest of the HTC family and the rest of the HTC team. This has been a momentous paradigm shift in my life, which is going to be fruitful in so many ways. And I just don't mean financially. It is gonna bless me in so many ways that I am just so excited about it. I'm trying to contain my excitement right now because I want to just yell and scream at the actual camera and jump through the camera and tell you how excited I am. I'm going to contain that for now. I'm going to try to make sure that I don't go too long and I don't make an hour-long video. But again, thank you, Kayvon. Thank you, Desmond. Thank you, Dan Locke. And thank you, the rest of the HTC team. It is truly appreciated. Now that I got my thank yous out of the way, even though I can't thank you guys enough, I still want to keep on thanking you. I just want to make a 20-minute video of just me saying thanks to you guys. But I would like to, maybe answer a few questions to help you get a better understanding of what I got out of this course. So kind of the first thing I would like to answer would be what motivated me to, even join up and sign this course. I gotta be honest with you. The first motivation that I had for this course was that I just wanted to make some money. I just wanted to make a lot of money. Because I know if I can make a lot of money, I could use that money to do things and help people in ways that they weren't able to help themselves. I wanted to give back. I really don't need that much money for myself. I'm not one of those individuals who just want to live the life of the rich and famous. I'm satisfied with very little because I'm a very, very grateful person. But that was my main motivation for signing up for this course. And as the course went on, I realized that my motivation was misplaced. I realized that this course, from the very first seminar, from the very first webinar that we had, this course is not just about making you money. It gets to the root of the problem, which is your paradigm, your mindset, and your conditioning. It fixes that first before it does anything else. And that's what really makes this course different. Because the next question is, how is this course different than any other program I've ever been in? I've done a lot of online training for, information technology type stuff, web development, web design. I've done a lot of those courses. And a lot of those courses teach you some great skills. They were valuable courses, and I still reference them every once in a while whenever I'm doing some web development or I'm doing some web design. But what those programs lacked, every single one of them, and I have over 50, I've invested in over 50 of them, but every single one of them lacked the ability to change your mindset to be able to think like an actual programmer. That's what was lacking. This program, what makes it different is that it is not lacking that. That's the very first thing it starts with. It starts with the mindset. It starts with breaking all of your old conditioning. It starts with making sure that you understand that no matter what skill you have, it's not going to mean jack squat if you go into it and try to apply those skills with your old mental conditioning. The next question I want to address would be, what surprised me most about the High Ticket Closer program? It was the fact that in a short 7 weeks, it could totally change a person's life, and I'm living proof of that. If you would have asked me, before I started the course, is this course going to change my life? I'm like, yeah, it's going to make me some more money, but I'm still going to be the same person. Wrong. I'm here to tell you right now that this course has changed me for the better. I didn't even go into this course looking to be changed or thinking that I needed to change. This course exposed my weak spots. This course exposed my habitual patterns that have kept me living a mediocre life. This course was eye-opening. And to kind of sum it up, I would just say it flipped the switch. I was living in the dark, hopped into this course, and next thing I know, click, the switch was flipped. You know, Dan's kind of impacted me in a very, very profound way. And that's to the core of my being. That's how Dan has affected me with what he teaches and how he mentors his students. What I mean that he's affected me to the core of my being is the fact that he shook all that old pattern, all that old conditioning that I received from everybody in my life, from parents to teachers to coaches to friends to business colleagues and work colleagues. He took all that, shook all that old conditioning off. He's like, all right, now that I got you dusted off, let's go ahead and start you with a new sheet of paper. Let's go ahead and start you brand new. Let's go ahead and build you up to where you need to be so that way you can experience what you want to experience and live the life that you want to live. That's how Dan has affected me in a profound way. With this new high income skill, you guys ask, where do I see myself in 12 months? On my vision board. I have printed off the check from The Secret, the movie or the book, The Secret, that universal check. And on it, I have written the date of January 31st, 2018, and for the amount of $100,000. Before, I would have not even thought that $100,000 in 1 month is even possible. I would have thought, all right, let's think a little more realistically, and let's think that, $10,000 is probably going to be your starting limit. No, $100,000 is realistic within a month. And I will, not intend, but I will, and I'm going to make $100,000 by January 31st of 2018. That's what this course has done for me. It's helped me realize my true potential, not the potential that everybody else says I can actually achieve, but my true potential. The last question I kind of want to address is, if someone was skeptical about this program, or somebody said the money was a little bit, too much, or was a bit of a stretch for them, here's what I would say to that person. I would tell them, listen, what you've done for the last however many years of your adult life has ended you up right here in this spot. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, it doesn't matter, but it's ended you up here in this spot. And there's a reason for that. And that reason is because you want to change. You know something deep down inside needs to change within you for you to continue to grow. So any doubt that you have is just your old conditioning telling you, hey, come back here. It's comfortable back here. He doesn't want you to grow. I say step forward, put the commitment in yourself, and understand that now it's time to grow. If you think the money is too much of an issue, think resourcefulness and not resources. Think about how you can pay for this program, not how you're going to pay for this program. Because if you want it bad enough, and this truly means something to you, and this truly is the way that you're going to change your life, and stop sitting on your hands, get off your ass and do it. That's what I would say to somebody who was skeptical, or to somebody who felt like that the money was just a little bit too much. Again, Dan, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Kayvon, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really can't express how much that phone call has changed the rest of my life. And thank you to Desmond. All three of you guys are upstanding gentlemen. I wish many blessings upon you. And I wish many blessings upon your business adventures and your business endeavors. And I wish many blessings upon your family as well. Take care. And again, I love this HTC family. I love the HTC team. I love the HTC mentors. Thanks again, guys. God bless.
What a fantastic program. High ticket closing program. Oh, just brilliant. What I'd like to say first and foremost is that it's Gary Wilson here. I'm from the UK. I've been in direct sales all my life, Dan. I'm in my mid-60s now. Sales is my life. I've made my fortune by direct sales and closing sales. And I joined the program because in my conversation with Kayvon, I'm intending to spend a lot more time at my home in Spain, and I want another business online. I've run my business traditionally offline in the home improvements in the UK, and I've been very, very fortunate, and I'm a lucky man, Dan. I'm a lucky man, Kayvon. Kayvon, the one call closer, that's what you call yourself, and a lot of respect for you, and a lot of respect for you, Dan. I watched you on video for a long time, Dan. I knew you were a mentee of Dan Pena. I've got all of Dan Pena's materials. I've never been to a Castle seminar myself, but I've got all of his materials and I've devoured them over the years. And sales, as I say, Dan, sales is my life. I love selling. I've studied J. Douglas Edwards, Tom Hopkins, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, all the top salespeople, and I joined you because you are offering a high ticket closing program and you offered it in a different way. I was open-minded. I hope I'm always open-minded, and I have to say this to you, the pair of you, Dan and Kayvon. You've took me to a new level because you've taught me things which an old man like me is still willing to learn. And you've took me to a new level. Recently I went 7 for 7 in my business for a total of just under £100,000, and that's using your techniques directly, using your mindset, using the way you negative reverse selling, and I've studied and I've adapted it to my own business. But when I talked to Kayvon originally, he said there might be opportunities with yourself. I intend to move to Spain. I'd like to run my business over the telephone, Skype, Zoom, online, and I would love to sell for the pair of you. So here we go. What motivated me to join HTC? I think I've answered that question anyway, Dan. And what surprised me the most about the HTC program, the depth and the understanding and what you actually went into week by week. We're on week 6 now, and the work that we've had to do to study, to change our mindsets into a role playing, into a high ticket closer. Where do I see myself in the next 12 months? I see myself traveling, living in Spain, running a business from my laptop, using Skype, closing people all over the world on your programs, closing people and loving it at the same time, because I just love talking to people who want to achieve more. And that's what you're all about, Dan. I've immersed totally in your videos, and I've immersed totally on saying to myself, I'm all in with the pair of you. And what do I think about the HTC family, the Facebook family that you set up, Dan? It's absolutely wonderful. Everybody has a positive viewpoint and positive intent to try and help people that sometimes aren't up to speed, or they want advice, or they want help. And everybody's behind this program. I'd like to say finally, thank you very much indeed for bringing me to this level. And Dan, Kayvon, all the very best, and I hope that we do business in the future. Thank you.
For me, of course, I had those clients out of Menfluential, and that really started me, with the momentum boost I had. I actually didn't tell Desmond because I was waiting for him in person, but I think the only one I've told is Kayvon, and I told him today. But the day I graduated, I was actually at a show for one of my bass fishing sponsors.
Wow.
And I pushed, in the 3 days I was there, $137,800 worth of product.
Wow. Say that again, how much again?
$137,800 in product.
Wow.
A lot of people here know this story is I was in oil and gas in Alberta and I was senior management. I left, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm bragging, but I left $150,000 salary because your words affected me, not just about the financial freedom, but the financial confidence. I learned a lot to get myself to where I was, and then I listened to your webinar and I said there is more out there. And with my background, I know I can do more. And to leave that safety, I just left my job 2 weeks ago. And thank you for that, for making me believe in myself, making all of us believe in that. You are a powerful man, and in your words, in everything, and I can't tell you how much it's affected me to actually leave such a higher status job already.
Yeah. So Kenny, I spoke to Jason today, and personally, we're talking in the back room, right, in the green room. Yeah. And he said that you're one of his best closers, and he's really proud of you.
Enjoying it with you guys. It was like a different world for me. For us, it was like I was trying to. We had to work hard work. We never had like the privilege of sitting down here, just enjoying this. Being with everyone here. And I thank you for that, Dan. Because it's telling me, okay, I have greatness in me that I can be able to go out and instead of just working hard and just physical, I can actually be using my head, my mentality, and my passion and become the skill that gave us a tool to be able to go out and get our dreams that we want and come back and show my parents like, look, we don't have to work hard. We don't have to do physical work. We could use our minds instead. And we could go out, I could bring them here and take them to a luxury restaurant where they could take a bite of it and they'll probably be crying too as well. Like, wow, this is the best thing right? And I just gotta thank you because it changed me and my mind. And to be honest, all of you, like, this is, for me, like, my parents are like very strict. They, okay, you gotta work, no emotions, yeah? And right now, I'm very open to you guys because family, familia, so. Sorry. Love you,
I'm a high ticket closer.
Proud of you.
HTC!
Ribbing at them, and every day I hear him just chanting. He's getting me and Andrew to just like motivate.
Every single day. He's amazing.
That's awesome. He's just like so enthusiastic too. Yeah.
You know, he's not even telling you, he closes for 20 fucking minutes. Yeah, he does.
So what I want to do, I guess I'll tell you about my long-term goal, is that I want to be a voice actor. And growing up, my family was really toxic. So being an Asian family, this thing like they're really strict on you. So
I think they'll do it.
Yeah.
I was more into reading books, learning, and a lot more reflection and quiet time to myself. And a lot more serious or deep topics than like most kids at my age, 5, 10, 15, were even thinking about. I was the kid reading the biographies. Those were my favorite books growing up, right? So doing all of that, going through college, graduating. Even before I graduated, I started, doing like multi-level marketing. I got introduced to that when I was in college, freshman year. And though I really didn't like that experience, the thing that it opened up to me that I was always looking for, even when I was younger, was that personal development part. The reading the books, investing in myself, and then for the first time, being able to get around other like-minded people. So I didn't like the other stuff too much, but the books, loved it. One coach, which was Jay Wong, which is how I first heard about you and saw the Wolf Triggers. Then from getting my coaching certification to help others, and then being a part of your program, just all of those things happened in the last 5 to 6 months. And just seeing how quickly that could come has blown my mind, and I'm grateful and so hopeful and excited to be here, first of all, but also for what's next, right? And HTC for me has just really shown me what it looks like to live life on a higher level. From all the assignments you've given me so far for being in batch 3, I do them at home, and I watch the YouTube videos with my mom, and she told me to tell you that she loves you. Hello to you all, and I'm excited to get to know more of you and just to go on this journey, and especially Sifu, Kayvon, Desmond, Jenny. I love the fact that I get to be here and spend this time with you all, and I love watching your Alpha Man Smart Woman show. I watch it with my girlfriend, and
And your mom?
And my mom has seen it as well, absolutely, and just we're all growing together just from those videos, and it's incredible to be able to do that with the people you love. So thank you.
Thank you.
Then I ran into Jason Capital around the same time that my house burned down. My son actually got a hold of the lighter and my house burned down. Luckily everything was okay, or him and my mom were okay. Well, then I just realized I was like I'm fucking sick of this. Like it's time to be great, like I've always wanted to be, and I knew I would be. Well, then leading up to I guess 6 months ago or so, and Jason Capital just made a big impact on my life. And then I seen this video that I hadn't read his emails for a long time. Well, then I just happened to look at one night after work, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I never heard of you, Sifu. Best ever. And after 20 minutes, I was like, I gotta do this. I'll figure out a way, and I did figure out a way. I put some money in the stock market. I sold that shit. I paid for it. And I mean, I don't know, and now I have such, now, again, when I was doing it, I was like, man, I don't know if I can't do sales. I've never done sales, never saw myself in sales. But it's not just sales. It's about, again, going back to helping people and making an impact in the world and helping others live their dreams as well, not just myself. If I can do that for myself too, and show my son that, you can do whatever the fuck you want to in life, then that's even more of a reason to do it, And I was like, I have to do this. And now I have that skill and I have that ability to go out there and make an impact in this world. And not only that, but show my son, I don't feel like I'm the best dad, Because I work nights now and I don't get to see my son.
You're an awesome dad.
Sorry, bro.
You're a fucking awesome dad, man.
You're in the right place.
That's right. And just to show him, and he even said it's like, oh, you're going to see Dan Locke? I'm like, yes, I am.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, I want to show him again that he can do whatever he wants to, just like I can, and everybody else in his family can. That right there means the most to me. But the fact that y'all give me faith in the humans again.
Just that
Thank you,
We saw that faith. This guy's been hugging me like every day. I'm very proud. I love you.
And he's changed so much even since a few months ago.
Every one of y'all too, for real. Again, for not only for giving me faith in the humans again, but giving me this belief again that I can go out there and fucking make an impact in this world, and just I don't even know. Thank you, Sifu. Like I said earlier, I had to say it. I'm an introvert. I try not to be. I try to be an extrovert because I love, again, helping people. But it took a lot for me to even say earlier, I love you, Sifu. That just took a lot, even just to say that, And I mean, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. You and Jason Capital are like the fucking dynamic duo.
Yes.
I used to think he was Batman, but now you're Batman. He could be Robin or Iron Man. He's a shit too, but you're fucking Batman. So I mean, again, I wouldn't be here, if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for Jason too, but Jason, I don't think he's going to make as much of an impact as you are going to. And I mean, just thank you all again, for real. Y'all are like my family. I've told a couple people here, I'm closer with y'all that I've known just a few months than people I've worked with for 14 years.
Those shitty
casino.
I lost my home in the Thomas fire in December, and I told a lot of you guys about that. And it was like everything I had built was whisked out from under me, and that's what made me open to taking this course. And I know when I posted that, Dan, you said this is going to be the turning point of your life, and I really watched that as true for me.
I grew up typical middle-aged or middle-income, lower-income, middle-income family. Neither parents went to college, and the whole focus was do well in school and go to college. So when I was a kid, I was a super shy nerd. And so I did well in school, and I went to college, and I dropped out after a year because I'm like, this is not for me. And I definitely had shiny object syndrome. I tried to start all kinds of business when I was in my late teens, early 20s. The only business I was ever reasonably successful at was a landscaping business, so it was kind of funny that you had a lawnmower on there. I know you had a landscaping business at one time. I got that to be reasonably successful, whereas I was self-employed. I didn't really consider that to be a business. And I didn't love it enough to where I decided to grow it. And as a result of basically going almost a decade after high school and not really making any progress that I could see from a financial standpoint, I went back to college. And so I got a degree in mechanical engineering and eventually an MBA. So here I am back in 2009 with $77,000 of college debt, credit card debt, and I couldn't get a job. So I was in bad shape, and I was in a bad place mentally. I'm like, how the hell did I end up in this situation? So I defaulted on a bunch of debt, not the student loans, fortunately. And there was one thought that I always held with me, and that was when I was a kid, I always knew I wanted to be a millionaire. I didn't have a clue how I was going to get there. My parents never discouraged that, but they always told me to go to school. That was the way to live a good life. And I always held the thought, even when I was down in a bad place, back in I was still working manual labor. I was working an $8 an hour night janitor job in 2011. And I'm like, how in the hell did I end up here? I got 2 college degrees with good grades, and I couldn't get even interviews. But I kept the faith that eventually, somehow, didn't have a clue at the time, I would make it back. And later, 2011, things started to turn around where I was starting to get interviews in engineering, and eventually I did pick up a job. And then I just worked my ass off, purely focused on that to move up in that. And I've done really well. I moved up from working at $8 an hour job, which I actually got laid off from because the company lost that contract. And then after getting laid off, 2.5 years later, I was making over $100,000 in a job as an engineer. But then what normally happens when you start to get up to that level, it starts to level off quickly. And I'm working in oil industry. And when I got in, it was booming. And then a couple of years later, it went down hard. Now, I didn't lose my job, but they went to salary freeze and then went to salary cut. And I'm like, this sucks. Like, I don't have control. Management doesn't really want to hear what you can do to really make things better because I haven't been there for 20 years. I'm not 50 or 60 years old. I'm not 20 either, but. And I knew sales was a valuable skill. Now, I hadn't read any of your stuff, not even FU Money. And I watched the webinar, and I don't watch many webinars anymore because I was a junkie on that stuff for years. And probably less than 15 minutes in, I'm like, yes, this is for me, just tell me what the price is, and I'll get to it. And I gotta wait, of course, another 45 minutes. But that's okay, because you get to see a sales presentation. And even today, since I knew that sales presentation, it was interesting to see the slight differences when you present it in person as opposed to on a webinar. So there's value there. But you got to the end, and you said the price was only $24.95. I'm like, damn, that's freaking cheap. I'm like, I just spent $77,000 on a college education. Don't get me wrong, did I get value out of it? Yes, I'm making 6 figures. But like you said, that's a high income job. Yeah. And even I realized, I'm like, this is not going to get me where I want to go. And I kind of knew that years ago. I was not good at asking for help, so I didn't realize I really needed a mentor, like a good mentor. One of the things that really resonated with me when I watched your presentation was your authenticity. For me, it seems to be very difficult in this world for people to be authentic with each other, even when they're working on a common goal, like even in the workplace. And that just drives me crazy. It's like, why do you have to lie? If you make a mistake, just own it. I make mistakes every freaking day, tons of them. And I'm an engineer, so we're designed to focus on finding mistakes. And for me, just be real. It's not that we're blaming anybody. I just want to see everybody grow. Now, one of the things that really wasn't just building the high income skill. That's cool. I'm like, 100K doesn't interest me because I'm already doing that. Now, 100K, like working 4 hours a week, that'd be cool. But being able to grow that up, and one of the things I really love was not even just from HTC, but your basic training on the Welch Triangle and how to basically build up, because being able to stay focused has been an issue for me at times in the past. And that was one of the most valuable lessons that was kind of reinforced when you presented that again today. And for me, I really saw that this is a stepping stone. So the most exciting thing for me for HTC is not making the money. It's one of the things you said in one of your videos when you talk about success and then significance above that, and that your life right now is focused on significance because you don't need the money. You have plenty of money. You can do whatever you want. And for me, the really exciting thing for me is to see what this HTC family is going to do in the next couple of years, because most of this group, the next couple of years, is going to crush out the success level. It's going to be gone, and we're all going to be focused on significance. Can you imagine the huge impact we're going to have in the world, and what we can really show people what's really possible in life? Because I see, even in my own family, people really don't believe that a lot of things are possible.
And it wasn't until going through HTC, especially the stuff with the lower self and going through the higher self, that actually changed things up. Seeing how you are as a professional, how you carry yourself, how you run your business, how you wear your suits. I love wearing suits, by the way. That's the exact embodiment of what I want in my life and how I want to function. And no one is out there caring this much to want to bring this kind of success in someone's life. And when I ran into Desmond today, And he just saw me, and he told me, he's like, he went to Kayvon, and he said, Fahad's like a man now. Those words were just impacting me so much, because it was also really funny, because I was actually extremely nervous, because I didn't expect to see him. So I'm a little more calm now. And just hearing something like that, especially after speaking to him when I wasn't the way I am right now, just impacted me to just a whole new level, because most of my life I just haven't lived as like a man. And I'm just amazed that, especially over the course of a few days, that I'm there now, and that I'm hanging out with Seafood Dan Locke and getting dinner with all this family here.
At a private club.
And it's a private club, and it's also a bad thing, because every other dinner I'm going to have now is going to be horrible.
The people that don't get the airtime, that don't get the picture on the posters and things. So I don't know who all of you are. Obviously, I've never gotten to meet you, but thank you guys for helping them be the best versions of themselves and deliver the most value to us. That's all I got.
Judging by the money you have, not just by the person and the skills you have, I felt like I kind of was like in the big light, so I couldn't prove myself. So for example, I can say that we go like 5 friends together and we go to a club and there is a party and there's like 5 girls around. I know that those girls, I mean, I didn't know they actually telling me that you are the attractive guy, but I want to be with you, but this guy has the money, so sorry, it is how it is, So I always felt like I was like, I wasn't living up to my full potential. So the first chance I got to get there was the work and travel program, which was like to come to USA, work for a few months and earn some money and come back. So that's what I did for 3-4 years, and that's where I actually find out that I'm much better than those guys, because I already had the environmental exposure. So once I got those money, they kind of felt like they're hurting, because the only thing that was missing right there was the money. So I started earning like 10-12K for those 3-4 months of period, which was a lot of money back in my country, which I would spend through a period from 5 to 7 months, which was still good, because the salary in my country was like 500 euros, so I would have like $2,000 for a month. So I felt kind of amazing, but the only thing that was stopping me from continuing to do that was that I finished the college, so I couldn't do that anymore. So the only thing that I could do was that I can just move to the US and just reach all that I have back there and start a new life right here. So the best thing to do right then was the trucking business, which was the hardest thing to do for me. I always was scared from those kind of things, like the 18-wheeler stuff. You see the truck on the road, you're like, what the fuck is that? How am I gonna drive that?
I don't know why I was that weird kid. I never felt like I belonged there. It was kind of suffocating me. My parents, I grew up in a poor family and everything, it's nothing new. And I never felt like I deserved to live there, so I went to college and I had the same opportunity to come with that work and travel program. I did it 3 times as well. First time I liked it a lot. Second time I thought about moving here. The third time I was so in love with this country that I literally stayed here. I was homeless at one point over a year and a half. I was living in my friend's houses, him as well. There were times when I didn't have money to eat. My friends were literally feeding me. And I'm super grateful for all of that, because it made me who I am, right? But probably the most difficult time of all was when I received the news that my father passed away. And I still remember I was driving. I was driving and I was crying so hard for days, right? Because I couldn't go back since I was here illegally. But I kept going, right? Mile after mile, tear after tear, wipe after wipe. Eventually that pain subsided. It was a period where Jason had his little down as well, and I didn't like his emails as much because it was pitch all the time. He was going through his own period or whatever. I hadn't opened his email for maybe a couple of months, and for whatever reason, I opened the email for the webinar.
Me too, brother.
And I watched the webinar, and the moment you said there will be an occasional use of profanity, no, fuck that. I was like, this is my guy, right? And all of that happened. What happened afterwards was like with the story with the, it's not even a story, it's a fact, with the Chinese bamboo tree. I don't know if you heard of it, but the Chinese bamboo tree, when you plant the seed, you gotta water it for 5 years straight, every day, or the seed will die, right? If you miss a single day, the seed will die. But after 5 years, in a matter of 6 weeks, it grows 90 feet in the air. Okay? And that's what I feel like happened for me after I joined HTC, thanks to that beautiful man over there, Kevin. I still remember that night when he helped me make that decision. I said, oh, that's worth thinking about. And you said, there's no thinking about it. I don't remember exactly what was it.
Thinking about is not a business plan.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, fuck it, it's gonna make a good story. So I joined. I didn't have money at this point. I had only 2 weeks left of cash from all of those 20,000 that was burning through. And on the email, I messaged them, I gave myself a word, like he said, that because it was Q4, it was October, I was like, I'm gonna give this e-commerce thing one last chance because this is the month that you make the money. What do you think I should do? And he emailed me back, he said, I got so much to tell you and help you, book a call. And I did. And I had no idea that this was a closing call or whatever. I thought this guy's gonna give me some advice, which he did. And 40 minutes in, out of nowhere, he's like, what's your email? Oh, this is my email. I thought, whatever, he wants my email. Give me a credit card. I'm like, what? And I just started reading, right? And that happened. It works. From then on, my whole life has been transformation.